Okay, we are live.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to this digital masterclass, digital accounting masterclass for business owners. It's been presented in Birmingham today on the DoItDigitalUK. I'm Shoaib from Integrity Accountancy Services. You can contact us through Twitter at Integ Accounts or Facebook Integrity Accountancy Services Limited, or you can contact us by phone on 0121 777 5361. My name's Shoaib Shafiq. I'm from Integrity Accountancy Services Limited. Just a quick introduction to myself. I'm a Chartered Management Accountant with over 20 years accountancy experience. I'm a member of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. We specialise in doing accountancy and business consultancy for small and medium-sized businesses. We're based here in the centre of the UK, in Birmingham, but we look after clients all over the UK. Our website is integrityaccountancy.com. You can contact us by phone at 0121 777 5361, and our Twitter handle is @IntegAccounts. We've got Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn and YouTube pages if you want to have a look at our details. Today we're going to go through a digital masterclass, digital accounting masterclass for small businesses. There's been a number of changes within accountancy that has embraced digital technology over the last few years and the next few years to come as well. One of the main drivers to this is HMRC last year in August 2006 starting a consultation on making tax digital. The consultation was over 6 main parts. The first being bringing business tax into the digital age. The second part being simplifying tax for unincorporated businesses. Number 3 was simplifying the cash basis for unincorporated property businesses. That's people that have property that they rent out for business for a second income. Introducing a voluntary pay-as-you-go tax scheme, reducing the level of tax administration and transforming the tax system through the better use of information. So the consultation that started in April last year, and that was finalised earlier in 2017. The first part of the consultation was bringing business tax into the digital age. HMRC are looking to basically make the reporting of taxes more digital. They've confirmed that they are going to accept tax returns in future in a spreadsheet format, to be the simplest format, but also they will expect businesses to maintain digital or physical records. So there's no longer need to maintain paper copies of your accounting record. You can in effect maintain receipts and bank statements and paperwork as such digitally, as long as they are legible and accessible. As long as you can get hold of the information, you can read information on there, then HMRC say you can maintain your records in that format. The important thing there is just to make sure you do adequate backups, and you make sure you keep a record of that information that you're basing your accounting records on. The next stage, another thing HMRC identified is that bringing the business tax into the digital age, charities are going to be exempt from keeping digital records. So they can choose to do that if they want to, but they're not obliged to do so. The second stage of the consultation was simplifying tax for unincorporated businesses. So businesses with a turnover of less than 150,000 that are not limited companies will be able to administer their taxes in a simpler format to limited companies and businesses turning over more than 150,000. Also, property businesses are not limited. Again, they'll be able to do a simplified form of accounting for them, so it's looking to reduce administration for those types of businesses. Another stage was potentially bringing in a system where you can pay tax pay as you go. So rather than paying your tax at one stage 9 months after your year end, as is currently the way, you would be able to make monthly payments on account that would then enable you not to have a big cash outlay in one go. That is going to be brought in, but not until the process of making tax digital is fully implemented. Tax administration, currently if you file your taxes late or file tax returns late, you're liable for a fine. HMRC has said when they bring in this making tax digital, which we'll talk about more about in a moment, there'll be 12 months before people will be liable for late submission penalties. That means for the first 12 months of tax returns being done more frequently, there'll be no penalties until there's that bedding in period. Also, using HMRC to transform the tax system through the better use of information. So making tax digital is going to encourage businesses to report their tax situation quarterly. HMRC are going to use that information they're getting, and you make better use of that to forecast the tax liabilities people are going to receive and get better ideas of how businesses are performing, and hence the tax that they'll be liable to pay. So making tax digital is a new way HMRC are looking to implement over the next 3 years for all businesses in the UK. They are basically going to encourage pretty much all businesses to report their trading situation quarterly and digitally. So that is basically you're logging on through your HMRC's account or through your accountant's HMRC log on and declaring your income and expenditure. Currently, if you have a look at the numbers of people submitting their tax return information digitally, you'll see that for self-assessment tax return, so that's anyone that has any income that isn't tax or source, 86% of those tax returns are done digitally. For corporation tax, all but 2% of limited companies submit their tax returns digitally online, and VAT returns, 99% of people that businesses, 90% of businesses registered for VAT submit their tax returns online. So you'll see a vast proportion of businesses are already geared to submit their tax returns online. So really, we're not too far away from what HMRC wants to achieve in the next 3 years, and what they are going to roll out in the next 3 years, because a lot of businesses are already at that point where they are submitting their tax returns quarterly. So who will this affect, and when is it going to happen? So making tax digital, as I said previously, is going to be a process over the next 3 years where all businesses will need to submit their tax returns quarterly. So from in a year's time, April 2018, it will start off with landlords and unincorporated businesses with a turnover over £85,000 will have to submit their tax details on a quarterly basis. That's every 3 months. They'll need to be submitting their details of their income and expenditure. A year after that, landlords and unincorporated businesses with a turnover of £10,000 up to the VAT threshold of £85,000. They will then need to come on board and do their returns quarterly. And a year after that, the bulk of businesses, which are going to be limited incorporated businesses, will be doing quarterly reporting from April 2020, which is only 3 years away. So that's going to come out quite quickly in effect. And what do businesses need to do? So businesses are required to keep their bookkeeping records digitally, and then they will need to make quarterly electronic submissions to HMRC. This will be above and beyond the current once a year tax return. So you'll still need to do your tax return annually at the end of the year, but then also you've now got to declare, do electronic submissions quarterly to HMRC. HMRC will provide all businesses with a digital account with a complete picture of their business's tax affairs. So that's been rolled out already for all individuals. All individuals now have access to a personal tax account. They can log on to HMRC, set up a log on and register for a personal tax account, which shows how much they've earned and what tax they due in real time. And that information is currently, I believe, coming from their PAYE records. HMRC also will collect and process information in real time to prevent any tax due or repayments building up. So if people have overpaid tax, that should enable them to get quicker tax refunds from HMRC, and vice versa. If you've underpaid tax, you may find that you're paying your tax sooner than you did previously. Businesses will benefit from not now having to wait until the end of the tax year to know how much tax they're going to pay. So in effect, businesses will now have a much more real-time details of how much tax they need to pay on an ongoing basis. 5 things in effect that all businesses need to know for making tax digital, which is going to affect all businesses within 3 years. There could possibly be no more annual tax returns. You'll need to do tax returns quarterly, and eventually there's a strong likelihood that annual tax returns will disappear. For the foreseeable future, until at least 2020, you'll do quarterly. By 2020, most people will be doing quarterly tax returns and an annual, but there's a strong likelihood that annual tax return will eventually go as well. Making tax digital has already started. We're already seeing it being rolled out currently. You will need to submit the business's tax return figures through software. HMRC have said they'll accept spreadsheets, but we don't know what shape those spreadsheets need to be in, really. So we're waiting for details on that. Tax updates, people's scenarios will be happening in real time. So you'll be able to literally do a return, and very shortly afterwards you'll know what your tax position is. However, some few groups may be exempt from MTD, which is Making Tax Digital. Those groups are those that are in effect digitally excluded, so people that for various reasons cannot engage with accounting software or digital platforms, and those reasons can be religion, it could be due to disability, it could be due to age, and also for remoteness of location. So those are the reasons where people may be excluded from having to do tax returns. Also, charities will be exempt from this, and businesses with a turnover of less than £10,000. So those in effect Making Tax Digital will not have an impact on. However, as you're seeing with Making Tax Digital, there's in effect an extra burden now on businesses to report their tax income more frequently, at least 4 times a year. However, there are some benefits from doing this, and this is basically benefits of kind of running your business well and knowing the trading position of your business and being aware of how profitable your business is and how it's doing. So the first benefit that it'll encourage businesses to get their house in order and know where they stand, and a full picture of the business's tax affairs, and that'll be retrievable through the business tax account. That way businesses, by knowing what their liabilities, businesses are more able to prepare and more able to kind of forecast better in the future. It should save time. All of the businesses' tax positions are all held in one place. Now, it should be easier rather than managing multiple locations, so multiple logins rather. At the moment you might have a login for PAYE, you might have a login for your own personal tax, your VAT, and a login for your corporation tax. Now all of those are going to be brought together in one place. And that also makes it much easier for people to manage their tax affairs online. The other thing is, by everyone updating their tax details regularly, and enable them to plan and budget better for the future. It's important that businesses do have a good grip on their bookkeeping records and their business records, because if they don't, HMRC can fine them up to £3,000. And there's a number of ways that a business can maintain good business records, which are going to be vital to what's HMRC bringing in this quarterly reporting in the future. Firstly, quite simply, they can appoint an accountant or bookkeeper to look after the records for them. That's a little bit more expensive. That's probably the most expensive option, because you're bringing in a professional to do it. However, the peace of mind is that you can then focus very much on doing what you do best, which should be running your business. And also you're then covered by the expertise of a professional that will ensure that you do your record keeping right and all your records are held right. Another option is that you can maintain it for yourself. I used to think that there's no better way of understanding your business by doing your own business bookkeeping records, because you're very aware of what costs are going out of your business, or what what income is coming in, and knowing that trading position. However, that could distract you from actually running your business, which nobody else can do for you unless you're going to delegate that, which can be quite expensive to do. So it's worth doing at the early stages of your business, getting a good understanding of your costs, your income and expenditure. But there's that you have to balance up whether the benefits are that you should be maintaining your business records, or whether the benefits are actually that you need to be focusing on bringing in business for your business, and maybe your time may be better spent that way. Another good method is the use of online accounting, bookkeeping software such as Xero, QuickBooks, Sage One. There's a whole host of these. There's a full range of these available. That's a kind of halfway house option. That is where you will do a lot of the maintaining of the business records yourself, but then online accounting system basically give you an accountant real-time access to your accounting records whilst you're working on those. And that's something I'm going to talk about a little bit further, because the accountancy profession now, we've got a lot of changes going on that have happened in the digital sphere over the last 10 years. And the accountancy profession's now kind of we've got our house in order now. We've now got some really clever software that we can really utilise to make the client-accountant relationship much more productive, and that's the use of online bookkeeping solutions. So as Nido Kubian said, change brings opportunity. So we have this change happening in tax reporting in the future, and where there's change, it's usually a good chance to embrace change and try and make the most of the opportunity. All businesses are required now within the next 3 years to report their tax position quarterly. So you are required every quarter to at least have your accounting records in good order, know where your business is trading, and basically maintain your business information accurately. And there's a good opportunity now to utilise this information that you need to maintain accurately, and make sure that you use that to benefit the long-term health of your business and aid decision making for your business. And it's through the use of online real-time accounting software that you can use to benefit from the important management information that your business will have access to going forward. The cloud online accounting software is very clever nowadays. What it enables you to do is, through any web browser, you are able to have your accounting records in real time on there. You are able to raise an invoice on your mobile phone whilst you're on the train, send it to somebody. You can then turn your laptop on, log on to that same account, and you'll see that invoice on your laptop has been uploaded onto your income. And if you've got any queries about how you should code that invoice or whether you should charge VAT, you can ring up your accountant. Your accountant can then log on to that same area that you're looking at, amend invoices, and you'll be able to work on it all in real time. So this is and this kind of makes that whole bookkeeping process much more streamlined. It enables the business owner to maintain their records nice, quickly and easily, because another added benefit of online accounting software is that you will have real-time access to what's happening in your bank account. Your accounts package will be linked up to your bank account, so that you can see, right, there's a payment going out for £200, for example, and that relates to this, and you can update all the systems as you go, really. So suddenly we've got much more responsive, much more accurate accounting records that are much simpler to maintain and get in good order. So the benefits of having an up-to-date management information, which is what these online accounting systems are going to give you. First benefit is that the information is accessible 24/7. You can access the information anywhere that has a web connection, in effect, and so you can access that information on a tablet, a laptop, a smartphone. Your accountant can access it, your brother or sister or family member, anybody else that works in the business, you want to give access to, can access that information any time of the day as long as there's an internet connection. Also, by keeping that information up to date, you've got real-time information that you've got access to. Again, by keeping that information up to date, if you maintain a good, if your accountant offers the services, you've potentially got more business support you're eligible for. So if you need to get funding, for example, you've got up-to-date business accounting records, so it's easier to get funding and quicker because you don't need to get the information into order. You've also got your accountant should be able to log on at any point, go and have a look at the trading position of the business and offer advice and support accordingly. So that certainly gives a business a lot of added resources there. You've got of relevant information that you can use then to bring in external professionals if there's any issues in your business, be it cash flow, be it credit control, be it trying to negotiate discounts from key suppliers of yours. There's various, you've got access to more better information that enables better business planning and better decision making for your business. It's also now with this online system, it's much easier to invoice now. As I said, you have an app on your phone and you can very quickly pick the customer, pick what products they've bought, and send an email out through your mobile phone. Very quick and easy. The benefit, if you can invoice easily and you can send out invoices quicker and easier to people, that should enable you to get paid quicker. Quite simply, if you can send an invoice out to somebody electronically, they'll have that invoice in a couple of seconds, and that's much quicker than sending out previously by paper form, which kind of relies on snail or mail, and that slowing down of the process just slows down how quicker it is to collect cash. And the other thing is that there's automatic processing with the online accounting software. You will set up rules that if, for example, there's a payment that goes out to British Gas, it codes that automatically to your electricity supply or your gas supply. If something goes out for BT or Vodafone or EE or whatever you want to use for your telecoms, and there'll be rules in place that recognises names and automatically code transactions coming through your bank account to the right category code. So that again makes the whole process much more automated and much quicker to do. And by things being quicker and easier to do, they're much more fun to do as well. So it makes kind of the bookkeeping, which has always been not the first job on anyone's list to do when you're running a business, but it makes it a little bit more fun and much easier to do. More benefits. By maintaining your information up to date, you've in effect got a financial dashboard. It's very quickly to see how much your sales are for the year, what your profitability is, what you owe your suppliers, what your customers owe you. All that information is much easier to get a hold of. Also, by having up-to-date management information, which is now easier to do, you've got access to much better reports, much quicker reports, and all things that enable the decision-making process. All the details are held in the cloud through some of the biggest companies in the world. These are, QuickBooks is the biggest accounting software provider over in the US. Sage is the biggest in the UK. Xero are the biggest, I think, in Australia and New Zealand. So you've got those are probably the three market leaders in online accounting software. And these are big companies that have spent thousands on their IT, hundreds of thousands on their IT infrastructure. So the security of the information that they hold is very good. Also, the software is maintenance free. You don't need to annually update the software, buy a new license, and put license code, download the updates. They all happen automatically because the software is browser led, and that's actually held in the browser. All the updates happen in the background. Another benefit of maintaining good up-to-date information is that you should pay no professional fees. If your information is in good order, maintained quarterly, then your accountant should charge you less within the year-end accounts, which is a benefit to you and your business and can help the cash flow in the long term. Also, with making tax digital, HMRC will launch out some free software, and there is software available free at the moment for businesses, but HMRC will be launching some free tax reporting software in due course. So that covers basically what's going to happen with making tax digital. So this is a big change in tax reporting for all businesses being done by HMRC over the next 3 years. So that's between now, March, April 17 through to April 2020. I'm also, just at the end of the presentation now, I'm going to run through just some things that new businesses or people that are new to business can do to either run their business well or just to help them save some tax in effect. So if you've just started a business, so just a few simple tips. really good practice for any business. Get yourself a business bank account and put all your costs through that business bank account. Very simply done. Pay for any travel or any entertaining costs, any subscriptions, any stationery, any costs that you incur for your business. Try and put it through that business bank account. Makes it very cost effective for you to do the record keeping, and it makes it much easier the administration of your business as well. Any costs you pay for yourself by cash or that you pay for on your own personal account, what you need to do is in effect submit yourself an expenses claim. So this is stuff you've paid for yourself, and once a month submit, like you would if you were working for somebody else, submit a load of costs that you need to be refunded to you by your business. It just makes running your business much more efficient. Or also make yourself a business plan. So detail basically how much you're going to sell per month for the next 12 months, and what's going to cost you to provide those sales. So you've got the costs that you incur that are directly attributable to your turnover, those are your costs of sale. But then you've got overheads as well. And by doing that, and doing that regularly, you'll then get a good understanding of the costs that your business is going to face. Which also then leads on nicely to doing the cash flow forecast, updating it regularly, and then analysing how you are doing. So do a 12-month monthly cash flow forecast, and if you don't know how to do it, contact Integrity Accountancy, and we'll send you a spreadsheet. We'll send you a template, and we'll sit down with you and we'll talk you through what you need to do on that. And there'll be a lot of headings on there that you thought, oh, I didn't think about that, didn't think about insurances, didn't think about whether I need to be VAT registered, whether I need to pay the VAT. And there'll be a lot on there that will prompt you, and it's just a good way to understand the cost of your business is going to incur. So if you want a cash flow forecast or business plan template, get in touch with us at Integrity Accountancy and we'll forward those on to you, no obligation. Also, a good thing if you're starting out in business is to find and get yourself a good business mentor or business advisor, somebody you can talk to openly, somebody ideally in your sector that can give you that bit of support. Business can be quite a lonely place, and it's good to have other professionals to kind of bounce ideas off. So if you can find a good mentor or business advisor, then try and find one. And the next point is to be adaptable and spot the opportunity. I think often what we see as an accountant is when people start off in business, they're very fixed on what they want to do. Sometimes you have to realise that might be what you want to do in the long term, but you need to do something slightly different in the short term until you reach a critical size where you can, in effect, be able to fund really how you want your business to be. So in that early phase, you need to be able to spot opportunities and be prepared to make your business slightly adaptable. The other thing is networking, is building up a good business network. Again, this business when you set up on your own can be quite a lonely place, so it's good to have a good strong business network, good professionals around you, or other people in your sector, other people in your industry that you can talk to and bounce ideas off. I always think there's a lot you can get for £5 in business. There's a couple of websites, 5pounds.com or 5quicks.com or fiverr.com. There's various of these where you can get a lot of support for your business very cost effectively, and utilise the global economy that we have online, where you can in effect get people to do a lot for you. That have a particular skill set that may not be readily available to you locally. As it's an accounting masterclass, I thought give you some tips on how to save tax. It's often what people want to know: how can we minimise our tax liability? Just some basic tips, really. It's very simple things. Everyone's circumstances are different. Everyone's business is different. So some tax savings may apply to some people, same may not apply to other people. Just very quickly, operating business is a limited income. You'll almost always save tax above, as long as your income, the limited company earnings are above a particular level, you will be more tax efficient. That tax efficiency changes every year because the government decides to change tax rules every year. So once they decide that people that go and set up businesses, take a risk of going to employ people, are making a bit too much money, they decide to tax us. And then periodically they decide to charge us a bit on national insurance and decide actually that was a mistake and we should look after people that go and take a risk and miss their livelihoods and trade jobs, and then they take away those mistakes that they've made. So yeah, setting up as a limited company is a really good tax efficient way to operate your business. Business mileage. If you are incurring significant business miles, then you need to keep a record of that and aim to claim back mileage through your business, because as long as it is wholly and exclusively for business purposes, then you can offset those costs against your business. Also, you should claim any costs that you incur if you have an office at home. So a proportion of your house, if you have an office at home that you use solely for business, you can claim a proportion of those costs against your business. Another way, if you're a company, a limited company, and you make contributions to a pension scheme, that will in effect help you save on corporation tax. And businesses, businesses can make contributions of up to £40,000 to a pension scheme, and that in effect would save them up to kind of £16,000 a year in corporation tax. So it's definitely worth considering. Another thing you can do is use a salary sacrifice scheme to pay for employees' childcare costs. A director of a limited company can quite easily become an employee of that company. It's usually quite tax efficient to do so. And they can in effect get their childcare costs if they've got children paid for by their company. Choosing the right VAT scheme, there's a number of different VAT schemes open to businesses, and choosing the right scheme can enable people to save tax in the long term. Getting your family to work for your business can be quite tax efficient as well, as long as they're doing adequate work for your business. By somebody paying themselves efficiently, usually by a mix of salary and dividends, that is a good way to help reduce people's tax liabilities. Another way to reduce tax liabilities is to invest in assets for your business. Assets can attract tax relief in due course as they over the life of the asset. So it's worth investing in assets. And also, if you are investing on assets, you're entitled to an annual investment allowance for some assets, where you can reduce your tax bill again. Another way of reducing your tax bill is if you have a partner that doesn't utilise their personal allowance, you can in effect transfer a proportion of their personal allowance to yourself, and in effect save yourself £200 a year in tax. Just to run through some changes in VAT. So the tax threshold for VAT is going up to 85,000 from this April 2017. So if you have a taxable supply, so anything that is liable to charge VAT on, if you turn over for those products over £85,000, you have to register for VAT. So it means you must charge VAT, you must pay VAT to HMRC when you collect it. You must submit your VAT on time, and you must keep a VAT account and records accordingly. If you do register for VAT and you incurred VAT on purchases before you register, some of those are reclaimable. If you need to deregister for VAT, the current threshold is 81,000. So if your turnover goes over 85,000 for 1 year, but then goes below 81,000 in future years, you can then deregister and not charge your client the VAT. I work for Integrity Accountancy Services. We're very much ready for digital reporting. We have been for a couple of years. When I set up Integrity Accountancy, previously when I set it up 7 years ago, what I saw with workload was with accountants, they got a lot of workload at the end of the tax year, and then basically everyone paid them at that point. That didn't make sense to me, because in my mind, accountants had a fantastic resource, as in, we've got a lot of business experience, we've got a lot of skills that we can bring to businesses. So by encouraging businesses to maintain their records monthly or quarterly at worst, that enables us to have some real good information, and we can help advise our clients and help them grow their businesses. So what that does, it keeps our workload relatively consistent. We have consistent workload through the year, and also we are seeing our clients' records much more frequently, which enables us to advise our clients much more proactively going forward. To enable us to help our clients, we don't charge for phone calls or meetings. We want our clients to be in regular conversation with us, because that's how we are then able to help them. We also are advanced training providers on a number of cloud accounting software. So if people want new software for the business, we can train them, and we can train them in such a way that's going to benefit them in the long term, and it's specific for their businesses. For the fees we charge are payable monthly, and a fixed fee for the year's services. So there's no nasty shocks or surprises. You don't get a big bill at the end of the year for your accounting services. At the same time, you get a tax bill. You pay for us monthly, and therefore we work for you very frequently. And there's no nasty surprises. Also, by dealing with integrity accountancy, we deal with everything accounts and finance, so you can focus on your business. We don't speak jargon, we don't speak accountancy language, we speak plain English, nice and simple, so our clients can understand us. And all our work is guaranteed as well. I'm a chartered management accountant. That means I need to produce, the work that we produce needs to be of a particular standard and of a high quality. We do adhere to that. So if you'd like a free initial consultation, please feel free to get in touch with us. That's a free, no obligation consultation. Contact us on 0121 777 5361, or feel free to get in touch with us through our Twitter or Facebook. Our Twitter handle is @IntegAccounts, or Facebook integrityaccountancy.com, or at our website www.integrityaccountancy.com. If there's any questions, I'm quite happy to take any questions, or please feel free to get in touch with us accordingly, and we'll take any questions online. Any questions on the bus? No questions on the bus. And thanks everyone very much for tuning in online, really appreciate it. Anything you need, just feel free to get in touch with us, either through Twitter, Facebook, or through our contact page on our website. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much, Henry.